Hi. So through a project with SFU's Big Data program, we created a tool called the WikiPlugin, and we were hoping to answer two questions. Are there certain features or patterns of an article that could allow an analytical model to reasonably learn how to predict whether or not the article's concept would be difficult to understand? And second of all, given that difficulty model, how could we embed that information in a useful way to a reader's browser? Now, one example application of this is that we could create a priority queue for Wikipedia to determine what articles are most in need of having a simplified version. So for all the pages that don't already have a simplified view, we'd have a rough estimate of the difficulty score on millions of articles, and we'd have a proxy for demand through the historical click volume. And there are many, many other benefits to this that we'll show shortly. The datasets that we used for this were basically the clickstream monthly snapshot and the article text monthly snapshot. The 10,000-foot view of the system we built against those datasets consists of a Jenkins Docker container that's run monthly. It cleans the text, calculates the graphical metrics and word vector centroids, things like topic distributions, other metrics such as the Flesch-Kincaid readability score. Then it loads it into our cache text model and scores it into a database for our web application to use, and it outputs text for our Chrome extension as well. This is the full suite of tools we used to do that. As for the difficulty model, we built it by randomly sampling 300 Wikipedia articles, which I know it's a small volume, but it seemed to work pretty well. And we manually labeled each of them based on if they were easy, or if they were normal, or if they were complicated to understand. And please feel free to pause the video if you want to read our criteria for how we decided that. So it's a simple logistic regression. Overall, we actually had a 50-50 balanced training set of simple versus not simple. So our accuracy score of 67% on that separate 80 articles test set seemed to be a good uplift. But the top 20%, our precision was 93%, so it's quite good at the edges. So we put our results into a plugin that you can download, and it looks a bit like this. So you can tick a box to highlight the links on the page, effectively crowdsourcing the latest month's clickstream to generate a heat map of the typical reader path from this article. It also displays each article's read time estimate by using the number of words on the page multiplied by a factor as calculated by our model's expected probability that it would be difficult. Now within that tool you can also look for similar articles, and if we input the article supervised learning in, for example, then we can see the most similar articles based on the underlying graphical nature of Wikipedia, and we can take into account the semantic similarity as well based on the page text. We also have some high-level trends over time. And here's the simplification priority queue mentioned earlier. There are so many articles that demand a simplified page, and this is how the Wikipedia Foundation could prioritize which ones to simplify next, maybe have a bounty system for those top articles. So we're really excited to see the future of this tool take off, because if so, maybe we could have a massive user data input pipeline from the tool to crowdsource more tagging later on, kind of like how Wikipedia itself was built. So our contact information is listed here if you'd like to reach out to any of us, and we look forward to putting this out on the Chrome extension marketplace and seeing if it gets any traction. Thanks.